Together, please. Closer together. Good smile. Wonderful. 1, 2, 3.
HBO's Succession has just come to an incredible close, bookending a 4-season run that might well go down as one of the best in television history. Over the coming weeks, there's going to be a swarm of different videos analyzing and dissecting every single scene in this episode, as well as the show that came before it. But before all of that gets started, I just wanted to take a quick look at one small thing. The scene that concludes the show of Kendall walking up to the beach and looking out over the upper bay. On the surface, no pun intended, it's a simple scene. The hero, having completed the story, for better or worse, finally rests as he watches the beauty of a sunset. Nothing we haven't already seen 100 times before. But for Succession, it's different, because of the already famous relationship that the show has built between Kendall and water. So what does the scene really mean? Water is a very versatile element and as such can be used to signify a multitude of different things in film. It can have a calming Mother Nature type of presence that represents the washing away of sins and grief, relief and cleansing, but it can also symbolize sadness, rejection or despair. And it's more the latter thing that Succession has traditionally gone for. Bodies of water in the show are symbolic for the tumultuous, unpredictable and often dangerous world of business that the characters operate in. Particularly Kendall. A fact that has become increasingly more apparent over the final season is that Kendall and water have a very special relationship within the show. But it's not until a complete rewatch of the series that I realized where this relationship truly began for Kendall. And it's at the very end of the first season where he runs off the road while trying to escape from Shiv and Tom's wedding. Symbolism for this scene is very easy to read. The end of season 1 marks the first time that Kendall actively goes against his father. He is of course fully unfit for the task and his attempted takeover bid backfires immensely. He becomes submerged, not just metaphorically, but literally. Since then, Kendall's interactions with bodies of water have always been direct reflections of his current relationship with and feelings towards the business. At the very beginning of the following season, he's once again pushed back into the water at the rehab clinic in Iceland. It's a scene that could easily be read as a baptism or a rebirth of sorts. But given Kendall's previous experience, it takes on a whole different and perverted meaning. He's being forced back into the same body that just submerged and almost killed him. He's being forced to get used to the trauma and the guilt of having killed someone, to the physical, emotional, and ethical sacrifice that it takes to do what Logan does in running his empire, the scars of which can be seen in the scene where Logan swims himself. When it's going bad, Kendall doesn't trust the water. He uses a floating device and swims face down, even then threatening to drown in it. When things are looking up, he lets himself float freely on the surface and embraces the water's supporting force. In the scene in the final episode when they're debating whether or not Ken should be CEO, he is the one pushing his reluctant siblings for a swim. He swims and plays in the water as if it were nothing, as if to show them how easy and natural being in the element is for him. In fact, the only time when Kendall doesn't get into the water in the entire show is at the very final scene, where he just watches. Which is of course symbolic for what? On simple terms, that he's out, but also of everything that was, and everything that could have been, and everything that he will now never have, for better or worse. Thanks for watching.